good afternoon. Hello, everyone. My name is Abigail. I am our fodder specialist here at Farm Tech. It's a pleasure to work with you folks today or present this out to you. Quick touch about me. I began here as an intern at Farm Tech while I was still in college and loved it from the very first day. In my time here, I have been trained as a structure specialist, all of our general product, also one of our dairy equipment specialists, as well as fodder. So very excited to work with you and offer any assistance I may be so able. I do have a background in farming and farm lifestyles. Grew up on a family-owned potato farm in Maine. So I have developed a passion for all natural food sources. Know your farmer, know your food. If it's good for or it's good for people, you know, why not for animals as well? So very excited to be working with everybody on our Fodder Pro line. Just to quickly cover what we will review today, just the basic ins and outs of fodder, from the benefits to design yields, operation, sanitation. I'm hoping to cover it all, but after the presentation, I hope you do all interact with the Q&A portion to cover any additional points that we may miss. A quick bit about Farm Tech. If you're new to us, welcome, welcome. We are a privately held company established in 1979. Our manufacturing and distribution facility is in Dyersville, Iowa, which are the lower two images on your screen there. I personally work in our corporate offices in South Windsor, Connecticut, which is the upper right-hand image there, our smaller of the two facilities. Between the two locations, we have about 400 employees, and we service over 300,000 customers worldwide. So we're a very close-knit community here. We aim to bring that personal relationship directly to the customer. All right, so on to the meat and the potatoes, what we're all here for today. What exactly is fodder? Basically speaking, it is any foodstuff that's grown specifically for livestock, which we provide to them rather than what they can forage themselves. By sprouting the seed, you're taking it from a brown food to a green food. So you're increasing the digestibility from roughly 30% to 75 to 80%, which of course just makes the entire eating process much more enjoyable for your animals. Fodder is most widely used to feed domesticated livestock, such as cattle, goats, sheep, horses, pigs, chickens, llamas, you name it, you can feed it to them. Alfalfa, barley, clover, grass, oats, wheat, they're all popular plants that are specifically grown for fodder. And all of the fodder that's produced, including the seed mat, is edible. So it's just jam-packed of nutrients, and there's no additional maintenance required there. So the beauty behind using fodder, and I truly can't say this enough, is that you're providing a fresh, living, green feed every day. You have a fully controllable growth cycle with minimal daily maintenance. The fodder system is an absolute dream to incorporate onto any farm. You can grow year-round regardless of climate, season, or temperature, from arid to sub-zero climates. All of the environmental extremes can be negated, so to speak, by controlling that environment and bringing it indoors. Not to mention the space savings. It's perfect for areas where little land is available, because rather than working large acres of land, you're maneuvering around compact little units. A standard footprint for a 2.0 feed system is approximately 5 foot wide by 13 foot long. Our expanded models do require a little extra width, typically to the point of about 7 foot wide, and that's just to accommodate for the 2 extra channels per tier. We offer 5 different models, stock models anyhow, ranging in height from about 6.5 feet to about 10.5 feet. So that allows us to maximize the vertical growing space as well as the floor square footage that's available. The benefits of fodder are seemingly endless. It seems every day I'm finding at least one new benefit. But to quickly present a few, first and foremost, in today's society, we all need to be mindful of low energy and water consumption. Each full-size unit uses the equivalent of about 2 showers worth of water per day. And the only electrical component that's required for operation are going to be my solenoid valve and timer. And those both operate at a whopping 6 watts each. Of course, you're going to get highly nutritional feed, which lends to healthier animals overall. Those animals, of course, being that they're healthier, will be more profitable for you. You'll see a better return on what you bring to market. Um, Not to mention a significant feed cost savings. For every pound of seed you appropriate to the system, you're going to, on average, see over 7 pounds of fodder produced. So at an over 700% yield, that's an incredible savings and utilization of your investment there. And then, of course, it's all natural. Here at FarmTech, we do not require the use of pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, or additional nutrients to successfully produce your fodder. The FarmTech Fodder Pro feed system is one of only a handful of American options. Fodder has been used overseas, namely in Australia and Europe for decades, but still a very new concept here in the States. So what we did at FarmTech is develop an extremely basic system. It typically costs less than half of what our competition charges, and they are stackable, meaning you can start small and expand your operation as your comfort level and your needs require. We also take a very build-to-suit the customer stance on fodder production. We aim to use what you have available on the farm, and then we'll supplement with the products that may be required for you to be successful. So our 5 stock models range from a production daily of 125 pounds to 375 pounds individually. And then, of course, again, you attach multiple units to create the output that you need. And then if you needed to do a custom design option, give us a call. Tell us what you're working with and what you want to see as the end result. And our goal here is to make that happen for you in the fashion that you envision. The fodder tree itself is manufactured from a 1.5-inch square steel conduit. This is structural grade steel. It's what we make our buildings out of. The fodder is grown in 12-foot long GT80 channels, and those channels are 9 inches wide. The removal of the fodder is super easy. You just roll it up, and once you get a big enough roll, you cut the root mat and take it out, put it in your wheelbarrow. You can throw it in your TMR, and you're off and running. You're done with your day. Of course, we do utilize a 7-day grow cycle, and each day your only labor is going to be to harvest, to prepare your seed for the next day, and to reseed that channel. Sanitation step is going to take you a very minimal amount of time, so you should be in and out in 45 minutes on average, depending on the size of your system. Larger operations, of course, take a little more time. So in addition to the channels and the framework, the Fodder Pro feed systems are going to include everything you need to start your fodder, with the exception of the seeds and your supply line. Seed screens are included to protect the drains from clogging with seed wash. You'll receive screen bags for sanitizing and preparing the seeds prior to placement in the system. Of course, as I mentioned, supply, plumbing, and hardware are not included. These parts are determined by the size of the line that you have available or that you choose to run. And those requirements are, again, typically a solenoid valve, a timer, and maybe a few ball valves, depending on how we will overall set it up. For a depiction of what is and is not included in the system, you can review your screen here. You draw an imaginary line just to the right of that fodder system all the way on the left. Everything in that box, basically, is included. So you got your whole framework there, all your channels, your manifold, plumbing, your valves, and then everything to the right-hand side. Again, you'll see solenoid valve. We do recommend a pressure regulator, water meter, couplers for maintenance, all very, very basic things. And if you have any questions as to why these are recommended, then just give us a call. We're happy to walk you through the ins and outs of everything that we've got going on over here. Accessories. So, yes, the kit is the framework, the channels, and your interior components, but what else may you need to be successful in your fodder production? Light, of course. We need the fodder to photosynthesize. We want it to be nice and rich and thick and green. We don't want any sparse yellow fodder. Nutritionally, it's the same, but it looks kind of funny. So lighting is very important. If you can get natural light for 4 hours a day, you're golden. If you don't have any natural light available, though, we can supplement you with either grow bulbs that fit fixtures you may have existing, or we can start you off soup to nuts with everything that you'll need. Again, build to suit the customer. So use what you have and only buy from us what you would be required for operation. And there again on the screen, you'll notice the timer, some ball valves, some unions. Those allow you to set up your incoming supply line one time and one time only. With the ability to attach multiple systems, if these parts were included with the kit, you would end up with far more than you actually need, and that's not very economical. So a one-time purchase, you can set it up the first time and never have to worry about it again. So a design yield. How much fodder will I produce? The specifications here on your screen are of a barley trial that we did. There with the pound of dry seed, we produced 7.3 pounds of fodder. So there again, the over 700% yield. Our channels are manufactured with 2 marker lines on the interior of the channel at the 1/4 and 1/2 inch mark. So it's extremely easy for you to be able to gauge the thickness of your seed mat, so that way you can ensure perfect germination throughout the 7-day growth cycle. Now, in all of our systems, we operate with 12-foot long channels. So at harvest, that channel is going to weigh about 63 to 65 pounds of fodder only. In addition to the 15 pounds that the channel weighs itself, if you try to take that out, it's going to weigh upwards of 80 pounds. So please be advised, it weighs a lot, it's nice and thick and delicious, and your animals are going to go crazy for it. Estimated feeding capacities. The rule of thumb with a fodder-based diet is 2% of an animal's live body weight in fodder, and an additional 1% in roughage. So it's a 2/3, 1/3 diet that we utilize here. And this table that you see on your screen is really meant to assist you in determining how many animals you may be able to feed off of a single system based on their approximate body weight. Of course, these are averages. If you'd like more detailed information or for your animals specifically, by all means give us a call and we'd be happy to walk you through properly sizing a fodder ration for your animals and your livestock. So the ideal growing environment. Where can I grow fodder? Well, honestly speaking, I have not yet met a place where I couldn't make fodder appropriate. Being if you have a greenhouse, a fabric structure, basements, garages, we can put it anywhere. A clean environment is ideal. It doesn't need to be hospital sterile or anything, but do be mindful of cleanliness. Good airflow is the very best protection that I can recommend in hopes of preventing mold production. If your air is mobile, it cannot grab additional moisture, which, of course, additional moisture will increase your humidity and thus increase your opportunity for mold production. So a basic circulating fan is fantastic. You want to keep the area between 60 and 75 degrees with a relative humidity of 40 to 80%. And again, if you're concerned with being able to maintain these parameters, or if you're unsure if a location is able to maintain these parameters, give us a call. That's what we're here for. We have some fantastic tools and calculators to get you set up and to ensure that your environment will be fodder appropriate. So growing tips. Once your system's all installed and everything's hooked up and your system looks, or your area, looks fabulous, what are you supposed to do to get the fodder to grow? We do recommend doing small seed trials. Great idea to protect your investment and ensure the output that you're anticipating. Again, grow lights are a great addition, especially if you're not certain of the amount of light that you'll have available in the area. Ensure that there's good drainage on the tray. All of our units come with leg levelers. And these are intended that once you install the system, you can appropriate a pitch of about 3 inches from the front end to the back end of the systems themselves. And that pitch is very important to assist in the NFT process, or the nutrient film technique of hydroponics that we've selected to utilize in fodder production. Our channels are slightly concave. So it's very important that that water flow evenly and without obstruction across the entire root mat of the fodder as it's being developed. That's also a functionality of lower water usage, is appropriating the water directly to the roots rather than to the sprouts. Water is absorbed by the roots, so it makes sense to appropriate it directly there. So sanitation, this is the scary part for a lot of people. But again, it doesn't need to be hospital sterile. Um, Preparing the seeds is going to be a fantastic protection for you preemptively before you start producing your fodder. We recommend a 10-minute soak in a mild, which is less than 10%, sanitizing solution. This sanitizing solution can be made from bleach, vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, or even pool chlorine. This is just meant to sanitize the seeds. It's going to take off any dust, spores, bacteria, any fungi, and it's going to make sure that they're nice and clean and ready for immediate germination. From the sanitizing solution, we recommend you soak the seeds in clean water for 24 hours. This is, again, cleansing the seed. It's removing that sanitizing solution as well as loosening the exterior hull or shell of the seed. This is going to promote your faster germination, and it's going to get those rootlets to a pop and emerge within the first 24 hours. Try not to touch the seeds with your bare hands, and anything that does come in contact with the seeds should be sanitized as well. Your scoop, your spreader, just dip it in a quick sanitizing solution. It doesn't need any hard scrubbing or anything, but just be mindful that we're trying to expedite the growth process here, so to do that we should be as diligent as possible. Latex or nitrile gloves. It's great to have a box right there in the fodder room. That way you can throw on a pair and be sure that your oils from your skin aren't going to be relayed to the fodder. So what benefits will your animals experience from fodder? In horses, you can expect an increase in energy and coat shine, reduction of recovery time after hard work. Improvements can be seen in the fleece quality of goats and alpacas. Improvements in conception rates can be expected across the board. And with poultry, you will notice much deeper and richer yolk colors. So whether you're taking those eggs and incubating them, you'll have very healthy little baby chicks. Or if you're taking them to farmers markets or you're eating them yourself, it's a much more nutritional egg, just a better quality. Of course, fodder is going to promote better heat cycles and earlier heat cycles in your young stock, as well as provide an easier transition from mama's milk to a true feed. For dairy cows and goats, you're going to see an increase in milk production as well as quality. And with zoo and containment animals, we even see fodder being utilized because it's a more traditional feed option for them. It's going to closely replicate what they would naturally eat in the wild. So why choose FarmTech? Foremost, we are an American-made company. We do our very best to provide American farmers with American products, which unfortunately is a seemingly dying instance in today's world. With this system, you are buying direct from the manufacturer. So there's never going to be a search for missing parts or endless hours on hold and talking to technical support overseas. If you call FarmTech and you dial the fodder extension, you will get one of 4 people, myself included. And that is our sole job and goal here, is to assist you throughout the entire process. And unfortunately, if we're all on the phone, you will get one of our fabulous sales representatives who can very easily take your information and get it to the next available fodder representative. So you are ensured a contact within 24 hours of your initial call into us. And of course, if it is a customer service issue, we'll be on the line immediately. We offer amazing financing plans. I say that because that is what my customers tell me. Working here at FarmTech, I was like, these are fabulous. They seem like great options, but the way our customers relate to them and take to them, it's just awesome what Farm Tech can do to get people set up with hydroponics. That is the largest investment, is the upfront investment in a hydroponic system. So Farm Tech is currently offering 0% down, 0% interest financing with no payments until July of 2013. And our goal is to get you fully operational without taking any money in advance. We know that this system will work for you, and so we want you to see it with your own two eyes and experience it with your own two hands before you need to start making payments. So if you'd like more information on our great financing plans, by all means, give us a call, send us an email, any way that you can get in touch with us. It's a fantastic option, and it's how the majority of our systems are being sold currently. So that concludes the meat and potatoes portion of our presentation today. But of course, please contact me directly with any questions or additional concerns you may have. My personal extension here at Farm Tech is 246, or you can email me anytime at A as in Abigail, and then my last name, Tobey, Tobey, at farmtech.com. It's a pleasure and delight presenting this to you today. I am blessed to love what I do. And so if I can offer any assistance to you, never hesitate to inquire with us and see how we can assist in incorporating fodder into your farm. In just a moment, we will begin the question and answer portion of the webinar, so please feel free to submit your questions now. Thanks so much and have a fabulous day. So your questions are coming in loud and clear, so let's cut right to the chase. Does the fodder system need a nutrient system attached to it? No. When producing fodder for livestock consumption, we're utilizing just the nutrients that are jam-packed in that little seed as it starts. Typically, the seed doesn't start looking for nutrient outside of itself until about 14 days of growth. So after 7 days, it's really not needing assistance elsewhere. However, if you want to utilize nutrient injection, please give us a call and we'll kind of explain the ins and outs of that and how it will affect the fodder. Is a fodder system the same as a microgreen rack? For all intents and purposes, yes. However, the growing process is slightly different. So if you're interested in microgreen production, by all means give us a call. We have a hydroponic team that can definitely walk you through that. Our channels, of course, being American made, we did have them rated for human consumption. They are NSF coded and protected, so you can grow microgreens for human consumption right next to the fodder for your cows. Do you recommend a type of greenhouse structure, or would it be good for year-round fodder production? Absolutely. We can recommend a greenhouse structure that would be good for year-round production. We are the leading manufacturer of greenhouses and high tunnels here in the United States. So if you need assistance sizing that for your facility or gauging heating and ventilation requirements based on your microclimate and geographic location in the country, give us a call. That's what we're here for. Would you be able to recommend the right feed for the different animals? That's a tricky question to answer because the right feed for the different type of animal, the right feed for the right animal is going to largely be dependent on what you have available, what type of animal it is, what their purpose in life is, what you're feeding now. There's a lot of conversation that happens there. So if you're looking for direction for a particular type of domesticated animal, by all means, reach out to us. I am more than happy to run down the list of everything that we have. Will you be able to recommend, oops, I just did that one, sorry. How do you control flushing the seeds properly down the trays? Well, we prevent the seeds from washing down the trays with the seed screens. If we're talking about properly distributing the seeds within the tray on the first day, then we have this slick little seed spreader, rides right on the lip of the channel, and so it's a quick swipe up and back, and you are perfectly and well appropriated to the proper seed mat depth, and you are ready to continue on with your growing process. So what are the different protein levels of the different grasses used for fodder? Different grasses contain different levels of protein. If you contact us, you can send me an email or give us a call, and I can send you along forage reports of the different types of grasses that are commonly used for fodder. And those are all tests that we've had done privately on the fodder that we have produced. What is the recommended percentage of fodder to roughage? Okay, an animal's diet is normally based off of their body weight in regards to fodder. So again, it's 2% of an animal's live body weight in fodder, and you're going to supplement with 1% in dry matter, roughage. Therefore, if you're feeding a 1,000-pound animal, you're going to use the rule of thumb. It's going to be 20 pounds of fodder a day and about 10 pounds of roughage. And if you need greater assistance, developing that ration, by all means, call us. That's what we're here for. Where do you buy the seeds? We recommend that you purchase the seeds locally at this time. They're a great source. They have very high quality. They usually have tremendous prices when you purchase locally. Not to mention the shipping into your facility is going to be vastly lower than if we were to ship it from our Iowa facility directly to you. So that may change in the future, but for right now, we do recommend that you buy your seed and grain locally. You can utilize any local seed store, or if you're looking for a more nationwide supplier, we can utilize Pioneer Seed, Welter Seed, CPS, or Crop Production Services. Of course, there's always Agway. Give us a call, though. We can make sure that we're finding you the very best seed supplier in your area, providing the proper type of seed. That seems to meet the question portion of our chat box here. So again, my name is Abigail. I am our fodder specialist here at Farm Tech, and it would be an absolute pleasure to work with you. So if I can offer any assistance, please don't hesitate to call me directly at extension 246, or you can email me, A as in Abigail, and then my last name, Tobey, Tobey, at farmtech.com. And, of course, if you can't get through to us in those fashions, then just go to our website. We've got great live chat, great contact us forms. Again, we will be returning your inquiry to us within 24 hours. So I hope you have a fabulous day, and I look forward to working with you. Thanks so much.